Good afternoon, I'm Kelley Uvanni, and I want to thank you for allowing me to share my passion story with you. Hopefully everybody has their tulip tissues ready. Tulips, crocuses, and daffodils are all the symbol of life and spring. All of my grandmother's favorite flowers, probably because her birthday was on April 29th. As I tell you my story, you can hold your tulip in memory of her. She introduced me to her rock garden as soon as I could walk. She took many pictures of me posing with her flowers. I was the first girl born in 27 years on that side of the family. She was my caregiver, so my parents could go to work. They would drop me off in the morning, and she would immediately bring me to her room, open her closet doors, and change my outfit that my mother had put me in. My clothes lined the bottom rack of her closet and hers on top. She would brush my long blonde ringlets down my back and primp me to her liking. And off we would go for the day, spoiling me at every stop. I think it's safe to say that she had just as much fun with me as my own mother did. She was a tough, no-holds Italian woman who loved her family with an unmatched passion. She was strict, except for with me. She set many traditions for every holiday, and most I still practice today. I was her princess, her doll, her granddaughter, the girl she had waited her entire life for. We all have people in our lives who love us, and when you have someone like I did, they impact your life very deeply. The impact they make on your life is forever. I was small when she passed away, but her legacy remains in me, and she gives me the strength to tell my story today. I have some of her possessions, but most importantly, I have some of her traits. She lives on in me. I carry out her traditions, and I have a love for her flowers. It was a sunny morning on April 2nd, 1987. It was just a few weeks shy of her 50th birthday. I woke up to the smell of bacon permeating my room. I felt a bit tired and confused, probably from some commotion that I had heard in the middle of the night. I exited my bed and I slowly walked down the hall in my princess gown. And when I got to the kitchen, I saw my mother standing with her back to me. She was flipping bacon on the griddle, and it took her a while to notice that I was standing there. When she finally turned, she gave me a forced smile. And she said to me, "Good morning, Kelley Ann. Your dad is waiting for you in the living room." An anxious feeling came over me, so I made my way to the living room, and I could see that my dad had pulled up a kitchen chair and faced it towards the window. He was sitting with a wide stance, one elbow propped up on his knee, holding his head. I was so little, but I knew a strong man overcome with melancholy when I saw him. I slowly approached him, and when he saw me, he held out his hands and invited me to his lap. I climbed up on his knee, and he wrapped his arms around me, and his eyes began to fill with water. And in a slow, shaky voice, he began to tell me that I would never hug my nanny again, because she had gone to heaven the night before. To this day, I am not sure how he was able to tell his little girl that her heart would break into two. He held me tight as I wailed, and my mother came to hold us both. At the tender age of 5, I knew what death was. My nanny had instilled religion in me. She often talked about Jesus and heaven. She sang me songs and she taught me how to fold my hands and pray. It's almost as if she had prepared me for this day. She taught me about love, and she taught me about self-love and the belief and an inner strength. Some may think that a young girl could not be as deeply impacted as I was by her death, but I sit here before you today and I tell you that she gave me the strength. I often wonder what her impact would have been on my life if I would have had her for another 33 years. She made such an impact on my first 5 years. It's a shame that she is no longer here with us today. I think that if she had the chance, she would be here today. I think that if she was educated on her health, she would be here today. She would have made choices to prolong her life. You don't know what the future holds, but you can educate yourself on your own health. I'm asking you today to open your hearts as I did to you by telling you my passion story, and consider a monetary gift to the American Heart Association for the research that's needed for medications and procedures and to educate women on their heart health. 49 is way too young to die. To put that into perspective, I have 11 years to live. We are all familiar with the saying, you only live once, but I'd like to give you a new perspective on that. You only die once. You should live every day.